This video will demonstrate how to set up the auto backup feature for NoteScribe Premium. With NoteScribe Premium, you can now schedule how often you want your notes archive to be automatically backed up. Just like exported notes, auto backup notes can be saved to a flash drive or to a CD to ensure that all of your notes are safe in the case that your computer would crash or if you have a hard drive crash. So that way you would never lose your notes archive. So let's go ahead and get started with showing you how to set up the automatic backup. First, we need to go to Tools and select NoteScribe Auto Backup. As you can see, the Auto Backup tab is already selected for us, and now all we need to do is set up a few different settings that we have for the Auto Backup. First, we want to make sure the Enable Auto Backup feature is checked. You can uncheck that if you don't want auto backups to happen in NoteScribe Premium, but let's go ahead and leave it checked so we can set it up. Next, we need to choose the number of uses between backups. And by pulling up the drop-down menu, you can see that we have between 1 and 15 uses. For now, we're going to leave it so it backs it up every use so that I can show you what happens when you close out NoteScribe. So let's leave it at 1. Next, we need to set up our backup path. For setting up our backup path, you can choose whatever folder you like and give it whatever file name you like. I have my NoteScribe Notes folder, which contains all of my previous backups and other notes, so I'm going to continue to use this folder. And I need to give it a specific name now, so I'm going to name it NoteScribe Auto Backup. And we're going to select Save. So now when I do an automatic backup, it's going to save it to that folder as that file name. Next, we need to choose whether or not we want to overwrite previous backup files. With the NoteScribe Auto Backup, you can have a series of backed up archives, or you can have one constant one which overwrites the previous. So for example, if I were to back up all of my notes on September 2nd, and then back them up again on September 3rd, if I leave this checked, I'll have the September 3rd ones, and they'll overwrite the separate September 2nd ones. If I uncheck this, I can have the September 2nd archive and the September 3rd archive. So it just depends on how much space you want to use up and how cluttery you want your folder to get. So I'm going to go ahead and leave mine as overwrite, so I'll have one constant backed up archive. So once we've set everything up, we can go ahead and hit OK. And next, let's close out of NoteScribe. As you can see, it asks me if I want to perform the auto backup, and I'm going to hit yes. And right now it's exporting and compressing our files. As you can see, I had 2 separate databases and 57 total notes that have been successfully backed up. And here in a moment I'm going to show you how you retrieve these notes and how you can see the separate databases. So let's go ahead and select OK. And as you can see, NoteScribe is now closed out. So let's go to that NoteScribe Notes folder that I saved my file to. As you can see, I have a couple of separate NoteScribe auto backup files. I'm going to explain this what exactly happened when I did the auto backup. If you remember right, I said that I had 2 separate databases. I had my NoteScribe main, and I also had one called recipes. So what's happened is that each database has been backed up into its own file. So you can see that I labeled it NoteScribe auto backup, as you remember, and this is my NoteScribe main database file. And it also gives me the date, which is 09/10/08. And next you can see I also have another NoteScribe auto backup for another database called recipes. And that was also saved 09/10/08. So if I had 3 different databases, I would then have 3 different files. But if I only had one database, then I would only have the one NoteScribe main database. So it really just depends on how many different databases you have set up and how many different files you have set up. So let's go ahead and close out of this and go back into NoteScribe so I can show you how to pull one of these back into your NoteScribe. And once we get NoteScribe opened, we're going to do a regular import just like we would for any other exported note or note that we're receiving from a peer. And we're going to hit the import button. And here we are in our NoteScribe Notes folder. Let's go ahead and select NoteScribe Auto Backup Recipes. And as you can see, it pulls up my import notes window just like it would if I were importing any other previously exported file. So that's how you use the NoteScribe auto backup, and that's how you get it set up. As you can see, it's a very convenient feature, and it assures that you back up your notes frequently. It's up to you, however, to make sure that they are saved to a flash drive or a CD, just in case you do have any sort of computer failure.